Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my challenge hour live. Every week I come on live and I show you guys how to do my weekly challenge, which is posted in my Ashley Scrappy VIP page, or group, I should say. My page is open. And if you're not on that group, definitely request to join. There's links around for that, or let me know if you want to know more and I can send you a link for that. So we're going to be walking through. I'm going to give you a warning. There's a picture in here. I twisted my ankle. It was almost exactly a year ago, and my ankle's super swollen. Okay, so if you don't do well with stuff like that, there's no blood or anything. Just more fair warning that that picture is involved. I will show you, but I'll give you a warning in a minute. The other thing I wanted to share with you guys, because it's such a cool thing and everybody loves it, backed by popular demand, I am doing Scrappy Summer Camp, and that is completely virtual. So you can join from anywhere. Like, I'm in Michigan, you can join from California, you can join, I mean, even Canada, I suppose. You can join from there. It'd be interesting to do orders, but it'd probably be okay. You can join, anywhere in the US and probably beyond. And it's 10 weeks this summer, all online, so you don't have to come anywhere or take your stuff anywhere. I know summer's crazy, so it's hard for people to do organized things. So you get 30 challenges. There's 10 weeks, 3 challenges a week, and there are prizes for every challenge. So if you get it done in a certain amount of time, that's incentive. You go on a drawing, kind of like what I do in my weekly challenges, and you can win a prize every week, or multiple prizes throughout the summer. So, and then I do grand prizes at the end. We pretty much keep track of how many pages did you do, how many challenges did you get done, and some other fun things along the way. I don't want too many spoilers, but it's going to be so fun, and I have been putting together the graphics for it. The theme is Amazing Race Theme, but I'm calling it the Amazing Scrap, and I'm going to show you guys a sneak peek of some of the little items you would get in your goodie bag, your travel supplies, I'm calling it, and it's called the Amazing Scrap. And look at that, you're going to get route info, roadblock info, and pit stop info, and these will have little flags on them you're going to use to mark on your tracker. And then there's a QR code so you can access the links for the challenges for the week. So that's a little fun sneak peek. I don't want to show you too much. So if that's enticing to you, reach out to me, we'll talk about it and see if you can join. But like I said, it's open to anybody. So if you're just a scrapper that wants to get stuff done, wants more incentive, inspiration, let me know, and I would love to have you. Or if you're an advisor and you want to check it out, you're like, maybe that's an idea, we can work something out. I can give you a preview. Or if you want to pay, you'll get everything. You'll get the items, you'll get the goodie bag and all of that. If you don't want to pay, then you're just going to get the preview without prizes and stuff. But we can talk. So that's something that's enticing you. It's going to start June 7 and run through August. I have 16 on there, but it's supposed to be August 17. Technically, it's a Sunday night we finish, we wrap up. And so I have it in my Ashley Scrappy VIPs in the featured section. It's also on my page somewhere, my public page. So you can find it there, but pretty much, you can find all the info. There's a sign up link. Once you sign up and pay, I'll send you, your stuff and add you to the private group. I'm getting the stuff together, so if you haven't gotten it, don't worry. So all that stuff's coming this week. Most of it, and then I gotta do a second order, but if you're interested in that, please reach out. The deadline is May 24. So get signed up by then, because I want to make sure I have all the stuff for you and all that. So if you have any questions, I am watching the live from my phone, so say hello and ask me any questions you have. But all right, so we are going to do our challenge today, and it is going to be, like I said, from last year when I twisted my ankle. And it was annoying because I thought for sure it was broken, but it wasn't. It was just twisted, and I was like, spraying, really good spraying. I had a good friend bring me to the hospital because everybody else was busy, and it was, in the middle of a work day and all this stuff. And so he took me, and so I'm scrapbooking the pictures I did from that. But here is the warning. I'm going to show you guys the pictures. My ankle's super swollen. It looks a little crooked. It was not broken though. So, all right. So here you go. Here's your warning. That was my ankle. It was crazy swollen. It went down pretty quickly. It was my friend who brought me. And so, yeah, I'm using the mended collection because that seems appropriate for this. But I am going to stick those photos on my layout during our little live here, so I just wanted to give you a heads up that you will see those. So mended, I love this collection. It's very unique. Lots of like medical journey stuff. I love these borders. They're so cute. The paper's super fun. Just very it's pensive, but it's very subtle, like cheery as well. So I love it for that reason. I'm a medical person. Not that I work in the medical field, but I'm always at the hospital and at doctor's appointments and all this stuff. Excuse me, ma'am. I have a congenital heart defect, which I did find out, you guys. I'm super excited about this. And maybe I'm talking too much. I'm just going to say this every time. But I was nominated. I got an email from CM yesterday as one of the finalists for their, they're going to give to charities. And as advisors, if we held a National Scrapbook Day event, we could submit for a charity of our choice. And it was super cool because I wanted to do it for the Adult Congenital Heart Association. And they picked me to be a finalist. So soon there'll be a link going out there, and I'd love your support in getting votes for that. They'll donate $2,500 to this place that has been so meaningful for me, and just being able to empower me through congenital heart disease, and which, if you don't know what that is, you're born with a heart defect. Some are more severe than others. I have one of the more complex, crazy ones. So I'm just constantly getting tests and doctor's appointments and procedures, and it's just never ending. But this organization supports you, and they are, trying to fund research because it's the most grossly underfunded, thing out there. It's like the most common birth defect, but it's the most underfunded. So that needs to change, obviously. So, sorry, side note. But I do love On the Mend. Sorry, it's On the Mend collection. I'm calling it Mended. I'm so sorry. On the Mend. I'm going to do like a little heart album out of it too. But it's perfect for things like twisting your ankle. So that's what I'm working on today. You can download and print these instructions from my blog, which are on the previous challenge link on my Ashley Scrappy VIPs. I will also link it in my YouTube later. So if you're not on my YouTube, like and subscribe. I would appreciate the follows. So this is going to be pretty straightforward. So we're going to do a little gutting again today. I'm going to also use this fun heartbeat punch. Perfect for, my journey. So pretty excited about that. Look at these cute stickers. Oh my gosh. Look at the band-aids. I'm going to use those today too. So I'm going to move on because I don't want to be accused of talking too much. And sorry, it's still festering within me. All right, so this is going to be my base. We're going to go through this piece by piece. And on here it says, cut a navy church window designer paper to 11.5 by 11.5 and adhere to a sheet of terracotta crosshatch tonal paper. Say that 10 times fast. And that terracotta is on the bottom here. I'm going to use this fun, highly designed medical paper, and that's going to be my base. I am going to gut it, however, because the other side has this red on it, and I'm going to use that for matting my photos and my mat for my title. So to do that, I'm going to give you a rundown of how to gut again. I do this all the time because I love this technique for saving paper, especially paper I want to use again later. I'm going to restart my phone live here to make sure because I'm not caught up at all. Oops. So I'm going to gut this for you and show you again how to do that. It's super easy. And I know at first gutting looks scary. Why is this not working? That is so crazy. Sorry, I was trying to pull up my live again. It's not working for me. Anyway, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna go take your paper, and I know my top paper is gonna be 11.5 by 11.5, so really it's only gonna be a 1/2 inch on all sides showing. So I'm still trying to get on here. This is bizarre. It keeps doing this, and I don't know why. I'm trying to get on my live so I can see if you guys comment, which is super annoying. Anyway, so I usually like to leave a frame of about, an inch or so around. That way I have plenty of ways to adhere that top piece. So what you're going to do is line up your bottom piece at the 1 inch line. Okay, and we're not going to cut it off. We're just going to make a frame. You're going to close your thing, but you're going to put this out also to 1 inch. And it's kind of hard to show on here, but there's a 1 inch on this marking, and there's a white line on your housing. And I've shown this over and over again, so I apologize if you're like, yes, I know. Fast forward, that's fine. And you're gonna line up on the 1 inch again, and you're gonna cut down to 11. So that way I have a 1 inch. I'm gonna put my head down there so I can see where it stops. I really wish this would work. It's just freaking me out. And so I have like this slit now, and I'm gonna turn it and line it up again at the 1 inch line again. And now I can see where that cut is, so it makes it a little easier to line the top piece up. So again, at the 1 inch, we're gonna start at 1 inch here and go down to 11. And what's cool about seam trimmer, hot tip, I've shared this before, it's an inch between where it stops and the front of the housing. So if I stop on the 12 inch, it's actually stopping at the 11. Like if the front of my housing stopping at the 12. And you're gonna keep repeating this process. Still trying to get on the live. I know I'm live, I just can't watch myself for some reason. It's really strange. I don't know, whatever. If you guys have comments, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get on there and watch it, but I made the mistake of getting out to show you guys the scrappy camp stuff, and now I can't get back in. So, I do know I am live, however. So I might have to answer your questions later. I'm so sorry. I'll keep trying. Alright, so now I have this frame, and I repeated that over and over. And you're going to have to use like some scissors. You might have to use some scissors to, you know, finish the job, which is the safer route to go, because you know, even if you cut too far, you can fix this. I have made the mistake of cutting too far one time, just because I was in a rush, you know, and wasn't thinking, you know, me and numbers, we don't get along very well, and I'm like, oh, I was supposed to stop there, not there, oops. It's very easily fixable. Like, in fact, when you have it all together, it's very hard to tell, you know, where that line cut was. So I'll just cut this out. I'm going to use this side to mat. So that's why I love gutting paper, because rather than using a whole sheet on the bottom of stuff you're not going to see anyway, and then using a whole nother sheet to like mat and stuff, I now have this. And so I can save this entire sheet. So I love that. This live thing's driving me crazy. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay. Another thing I love, oops, I'm actually, first and foremost, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to trim this down to 11.5 by 11.5. I like this technique. Yes, Leah, I agree. I love gutting because of that reason. I just saw your comment. I'm on my live now. Yay. I can see things again. So I'm going to trim this down to 11.5 by 11.5. Okay. And that's what I'm going to put on top of my frame. So that's going to be my base. Like, my base is this frame, but my top base, I like to call it, my second base, is going to be like this Band-Aid looking paper, which is super cute. And I love, okay, like I'm going to do a kind of a rundown of the different adhesives CM offers in my Scrappy Camp, and then later I'll post that to YouTube for everybody down the road. But the mini tape runner, I love this thing for frames because it's very, very narrow and it stays along the edge better than, you know, a regular tape runner. And I don't have to worry about it showing up. So I love the mini tape runner. I also love it for small pieces. But I think every adhesive has a purpose, and I truly believe that. I don't think you, like, if you get by with just your regular tape runner, that's totally fine. Like, that's totally your call. It just makes my life easier to have a mini tape runner for this reason, because I have been stuck with my normal tape runner for framing, especially, like, when I'm at a craft, I'm like, oh, I didn't pack my mini tape runner. Whoops, I went crooked there, y'all. And I had to use my wider one, and it was so annoying, because when I went to go put my top piece on, there are segments sticking out, and I was like, oh, that's so annoying. Whereas the mini, I never have that issue because it hugs that edge so well. Because it's mini, it's tiny. So, all right, so there's our top piece. Okay, and so we have done step one. We have adhered, you know, our 11.5 by 11.5 to our base. We did gut our base. That wasn't in there initially, so I added gut base if desired. All right, so now we're going to cut 2 6x8 and 4 1/8 pieces from the Navy Diamonds tonal paper and adhere photos that are 4x6. So this is the part where it's tricky, and I say this every time. My photos are smaller than 4x6. I love the Band-Aid paper too, Leah. It's so crazy cute. And I've seen people turn this into band-aids, so I love it. Again, sorry, gruesome morning. There's my ankle. It's really big. I'm going to cut this down, but I'm not going to like trim them more than cutting off my white strip. This is the true digital setting, because I hate when things get cropped out. I am going to try 4x6 again, because I do like to have the steady, you know, the steady sizing for when I'm doing stuff like this. And if you didn't know, I didn't say this, I'm turning my layout. So I'm probably turning it this way. So my pictures are actually going to be more like this. And then my title will be like down here. So I am turning this, and just know whenever I do a sketch like this, you can turn it. Make it work for your pictures, because I want you to get pages done. That's the whole goal, right? So if you don't have pictures that work, turn it. And then you hopefully can get a page done and it'll still look fabulous. So, so this step wants me to mat these. It's not going to be the same size as this, but they're going to be 1/8 bigger than, you know, the rest of it. And then we're going to do a bigger mat to go underneath. So this is the part I didn't think through 100%. I know I want a mat on this, but I think I'm going to use this for my heartbeat border as well. I might use this as well for, I'm debating. Actually, I kind of like it like that, I think. I need another sheet of this, so sorry, this is me not planning again. That's what I do. Because I forgot there's like double mats on here. I'm kind of annoyed by double matting. I know it looks nice, but I'm also like, oh, there's so many mats. You know, the term lazy scrapbooker could apply to me, because I hate, you know, like figuring out numbers. I hate, you know, I hate double matting because it's more numbers to figure out. So me and double matting, I don't know. It's fine. It looks nice, and I'm always happy when I do it, but I'm also just like, oh, do I have to? Like, I don't know. I never have to do anything. My goodness, I don't have any more of this paper in here. So I'll have to work. I was trying to find a scrap, but apparently I don't have a scrap. All right. So I might just cut my border out of this and then mat on here. All right, so what I'm going to do, I call this the Ashley method of matting. Haha. Just because I'm lazy with it. Actually, I'm going to have to trim this down too. While I'm doing this, I'm going to skip ahead to this mat step, step 4. The mat needs to be 4x4. Okay. So this is going to be my title. Sorry, I have a lot of rabbit trails today. It's fine. Everything's fine. And this mat's bigger than a 4 this way, so I am going to trim it this way as well. And I love mats for titles because it just takes all of the work out of it. Titling's also very hard for me. You're like, Ashley, why do you scrapbook, for crying out loud? You hate everything about it. No, I don't. But I love the creative outlet. But I'm like, oh, I'm so indecisive when it comes to titles and embellishing and this. And you're just like, seriously, come on. But I like the creative outlet of scrapbooking. That's why I love scrapbooking. So I am going to mat these. I'm going to save this for my border, I think. I'm going to mat these on here first. And then I'm going to double mat on the red. That's what I'm going to do. So I need my regular tape runner now. This is just good old-fashioned tape runner. I always try to see if I can fit these on here so that I like utilize them as much paper as I can. Actually, maybe I'll save that piece and cut my border out here. So we're just gonna do this. I'm not measuring anything. I'm just putting it on the cardstock like as evenly as I can. The only issue with me doing it this way is a lot of times I end up crooked and I can't see it. I can't level things either. It's hilarious. Like I said, I like to tell my friends and people in general, there's no wrong way to scrapbook, you guys. Like just get the pictures on the page. You want it to look nice for sure, but it's your book. You do it however you want, and this is how I like to mat, so that's how I'm doing it. All right. Sorry if I seem crunchy today. I didn't mean to be. I have a preteen daughter, so words like crunchy and salty and stuff like that happen around here a lot. Bro, you know you're in preteen world when your daughter's calling you bro. I'm like, okay. So I call her bro back, and she doesn't like that. And I'm like, well then don't call me bro. So it's funny. She's a great kid. I love her to death, but she's a preteen. It's great. And so I'm just cutting these out like I am cutting out, designs on a paper. And this is just what I call the Ashley method because this is how I've always done it. Because measuring, like, especially for photos I don't know the true size of. They're literally like not even 5.5 photos. They're like 5 and 2, like, I don't know, 2 sevens or something weird like that. So, which probably doesn't even make sense as a fraction, but here we are. You know me, I don't do math. I will if I have to, but half the time I don't like to. Okay, so that's how I'm matting those, and then we're going to double mat these. So we've completed step 2. Step 3, adhere photos with mats to 2 6.5 by 4.5 wood grain mats. So this is the double mat part. Again, I don't know the true size of my photos. I could measure them, but then there's like a lot of weird fractions involved. And oh no, I'm not gonna have enough. Oh yes, I will. We're good. I was like, shoot, we're not gonna have enough room. We're fine. So again, I'm just gonna adhere these to this now. And I want kind of a wider mat on this one, I feel. So the hearts are helping me line it up because I'm like, oh, go along the points, go along the middle. And this one I'm hoping will fit kind of below it. Okay. I might cheat it a little bit, but it'll be okay. So I do agree, double mats look great. I'm just not a fan of doing them. Like, it's not that I hate how they look, I just, they're so much work, you guys. I'm not normally a lazy person, but sometimes when it comes to measuring and matting, I'm just like, ugh. No one wants to measure when you're having fun. Okay. And then we're going to line this up. You know, and the satisfactory part of it all should be like, when I get done, I look at it and go, oh, that looks so nice. But, you know, I'm just like, it's done. That's how I feel. So, let's see. All right. I love this piece on my trimmer because especially for things this close, I can see exactly where it's going to cut. And we're safe. Okay. See, it's a little smaller on one side, but that's okay. I'm not going to have a aneurysm over it. Perfect. So I just like literally cut that there. I'm going to use pieces of this as well on my page later, probably this side. So I'll set that aside for now. Set my trimmer aside. Alright, so this is how I kind of want to lay it out. I like to lay it out as I go so I can see how it's progressing. Like, that's just, I'm a visual person. Okay, so we did step 4 already too. We already matted our mat and cut it. And then cut a stone. Let's see. I want to make sure I did everything on there. Totally adhere mat piece to navy piece. Okay, so we did that. Step 5, cut a stone textured mat to 4.5 by 4.5 and adhere the title piece to this. Okay, that was a double mat of this, so we're already on step 6. We're just blowing through this. From the remaining stone textured mat piece, cut 2 pieces that measure 1.5 by 6.5 and 1.5 by 6.5. So what those pieces are for are right here along the edge of this photo. They're going to run kind of right here. Again, I don't know what size this is. So that could be an interesting feat for me. So I will have to measure this. Here, I'll go high and measure. This is almost 4.5, I would say. So I'm probably just going to cut that piece to like just under 4.5 by like the width. So I was debating using more red. It's going to go the wrong way unless I cut this way. But I was also debating using this again because I thought it was super cute. The border I'm going to use, and maybe I do my borders first just so I can get a feel for what it's going to look like. Again, I'm a visual person. I'm going to turn this one like this. And then I'm going to punch out the hearts on this green, like this deep sea green. So I might just stick with red. I feel like that's going to look better and more put together. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to cut some little pieces out of the scrap I have. I want them to go this way, however. So I said it was about 4.5, right? Just under 4.5. And I like these little marks on this trimmer. Okay. Oops. Let's start here, actually. Set that aside for now. And then one of these, I just need to know the width now. I know they're going to be about 4.5 long. And again, my layout's turned, so it's going to be different if you're going the other way. I am doing 1.5 wide. and I'm guessing about 4, 4.5-ish. So that one's gonna go there. And then the next one is a half. So it's interesting, 6.5. Oh, I see. It's because they're going the other way. This is where numbers confuse me so much. Because I'm trying to compute in my head. I'm like, okay, if that one goes that way, how is this one this way? And that's where I get lost. So when I turn things and like mess with them, that's where I tend to get confused. But we're going to make it work. Like I said, we're getting the page done. That's what matters. So I might trim these down a little more. It looks like I need to go like just a quarter, not even a 1/4 inch. Where are my big scissors? There they are. So I'm not even going to get the trimmer for this. I'm literally just going to trim a teeny tiny piece off until I like how it looks. Pretty much. That's fine. And of course it's crooked, but whatever. Some of you probably all watch my channel and you go like, oh yeah, that girl that can't do anything straight. It's true. I'm sorry, I'm going way off my mat here. I'm drifting. I'm sorry. I was looking at the blue one over here and I was like, oh, I'm off the page. My apologies. I was so focused. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of adhere everything down. The other thing I want to do first, however, is punch my border because that's going to kind of go underneath all of this. So I'm going to get this dark sea green again. I'm going to use that color. Get my border maker. Slide my punch in. And then put my cardstock in. I don't know if I've used this one yet, so this might be the christening of it. I was saving it for a page like this, and I haven't really had any yet, so yay. Okay, and there's my heartbeat. Not my heartbeat, but the border is. Okay. There we go, I can put it back in my little shelf. All done with that. Clean it. All right. So now I gotta decide. Hopefully I don't drift off the screen again. This is why I always have to have the live in front of me. Because I have to be like, oh, I'm off the screen now. Because the camera's so different than what I'm seeing on the screen. So it's really weird. It's bizarre. Okay. So I'm gonna put this guy kind of right here. And this is where I'm gonna use my silicone mat and my repositional tape runner. So repositional tape runner is little clear dots, and it is repositional for a little bit, more immediate, not like days or weeks later, but like today, like I like to use it for the border because there's like little pieces on here, whereas if I use my regular tape runner, I'd literally have to be like this, and that's fine. It just takes longer and it works. Oops, I just ripped my paper. Well, but I like this because it'll only stick to the border itself. It doesn't stick to my silicone mat at all. You could also do it on your regular mat. And if you do, like say you're like putting it on here like, ooh, I got some dots on it. They just rub right off. So if you get it someplace you don't want it, it rubs right off, even your paper. So I love repositional for that reason. And like I said, it is repositional. So if I'm working with really tedious pieces and I don't know if they're gonna land how I want them at first, I use that because I know I can peel them up for a little bit. I'm just going to adhere this kind of along this edge, and of course I'm crooked because, you know. Okay, good enough. And then this is going to kind of go over it a little, I think. Oh, maybe not. I'm trying to debate. My borders are wider than what they're suggesting here. Did they even say what that was? Like this border? Symbol layout. Oh, okay. These are border stickers. That's why we didn't cut pieces from there. So these little strips I use are border stickers. I'm using a big border and then a border maker cartridge for mine. So I'm debating if I want to maybe overlap like that and have more of this showing. I think that's how I want to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down. Centered. Actually, on here they have it like this more. So maybe I want to do my little piece first. I don't know how much space I could journal though there. I'm a journaler, and this is the only page I have of this, so I'm going to have to journal somewhere. I'm going to kind of set the tone with this column, so go that right there. Perfect. Oops, and then of course I bumped it before I stuck it down. Okay, and I got my other cute little piece here, and they actually journaled, they put a strip, or I don't think they had write-on strips back then. They put a strip of white paper on there and journaled on it. Of course, this isn't quite the right size because I eyeballed it, but that's okay. It doesn't bother me at all. It's imperfect like me, so, and my imperfect goals. All right, and so I could journal on that, but I don't know, I'm debating. And it's not like having open space on your page is a bad thing. I think people perceive like open space as being like a bad thing, when really it helps draw focus to your photos and the rest of your page, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. So I don't think you need to fill every space with an embellishment or whatever. And odds are I'm going to put some stickers down, probably in that spot. But I just want to tell you guys, do not fear the white space or the blank space, because sometimes it's fine, especially if you have a more you know, a higher designer paper that's got a lot going on, especially this one I have going on in the background here. That would fill just fine. And honestly, the Band-Aid paper is really cute, so it doesn't bother me if it's open. All right, look at that. So the next, step 7, for the remaining title mat piece, I could take, oh, that's a good idea. I threw those away. You could take a remaining title mat piece. Let me take one of those out, actually. It's all paper in my trash, don't worry. And I could put that there. That's actually clever. So that's what they use to journal. And maybe I will do that too, because I could journal on that easily. You're going to cut this down to fit this strip. They have cut 3/4 by 3 1/4. That's not going to be the size of mine, I feel. So maybe I can see. Actually, what's on the other side? It's like a little. So 3 1/4. Yeah, it's fine. 3 1/4. As you can tell, I'm super chill about my scrapbooking parts. And then 3/4. I like to use the photo trimmer for these littler pieces, but I don't know if it's gonna work here. 3/4. I just want to hold this guard down. That's how you want to do that. This is a very narrow piece, which is fine. I might need more journaling space in that. This is quite a story. I'm just curious how big that would be. I could always like layer like that. You can get like really creative with this. Like I might just do like a second strip and then journal, I don't know, journal somewhere on that. I could tilt it, make it like purposely crooked. Sometimes that's a technique I use to make it look like, oh yeah, I meant to do that. Especially with the alphabets, right? Like I do that a lot with those. Or I could get my handy dandy write-on strips. I love these. And stick them, you know, down here or something. So I have many options for journaling. And these are awesome because they have wider ones. They have more narrow ones. So I could journal a lot or a little. But I just think it looks funny if I layer that down there. So I could just journal underneath. It's not a big deal. Might add a title there. Who knows? I think I'm going to leave this like that and just trim off a little bit. Again, measuring, you know, I don't want to do that, so. These are pieces I was going to throw away anyway, y'all, so it's fine. I think I might do that, and then I'll add something to it, but I'm going to wait before I adhere it down. So essentially, your layout could be done. I have a title. I'm going to add some embellishments. I have my cool embellishment border there, but I couldn't move on without using these adorable stickers, so I'm going to put some of these on here. So there's like the cute borders. I don't really need a border now. Some other little titles. I love this UGG because that's how it felt that day. I was like, seriously, I cannot believe I just did this. Like, I had so many plans. Summer's coming. So I might use that. I don't want too many words. I'm one that doesn't like a lot of words happening embellishment-wise on my page. So I'm probably going to use some of these cute stickers. And let me check the time. Oh yeah, I can embellish a little bit with you guys. So this little Band-Aid here, this is super cute. I'm probably going to stick it somewhere in here. And when you're in doubt of where to put embellishments, sometimes I struggle with that as well. I just look at the example and go, oh yeah, that looks nice there. And of course mine's turned. So I'm gonna kind of turn it like this and look at it. I think this embellishment border adds enough, so I don't think I really need anything there. But over here, I could add some little things. The Band-Aid gets kind of lost in the paper, so I'm gonna could layer it up. I don't know. I want it to go more onto the green than, you know, the background paper. And of course we have, I didn't get a cast, but I mean, that could be appropriate. And we have like some little more Band-Aids, little hearts, a tea bag, you know, because when you're sick, you drink tea, coffee, soup. I don't want to go too crazy with Band-Aids. There is a lot of fun options. I like this UGG, so I'm definitely going to use that somewhere. You know what? I'm going to use the cast. Even though I didn't get a cast, I'm going to use it because I had to be like in a splint for a while on crutches, so I think it can work. And I want my title, you know, I don't like words next to my title. Like, I think I want it up here, just because if too many words are in one spot, I tend to get overwhelmed by my page. So I like these little hearts. I mean, it's really nice for my friend to bring me to the hospital, so probably put that somewhere here. And handle with care. After I'm gonna add more embellishments, like when I get off a live. I get so nervous on a live sometimes where I'm like, oh, everybody's watching and I can't make a decision. So I might add some more once I'm off and then post my finished product. But after I'm gonna do a little journaling there. I'm probably just gonna stick that down actually and journal. If I have to go more, I will just figure it out. It's fine. So, yay! Yeah, and like I said, don't let like blank space intimidate you. I think a lot of times people go, oh, I need to put something here. But sometimes I feel like that just clutters a page more. So that's just my tip for today. Like, don't feel like you have to fill every space on your page. Let the Band-Aid paper show, you know, like it's really cute. Oh, you know what I want to do? I want to add one of these little hearts over here. How cute would that be? Sorry, I just got that idea. I don't want to use too much, but I might just kind of go like every other. There's a bunch of these, so. And then I have the other one still for a future project. Look at that. So cute. All right. So once I get off, I'm just gonna, you know, do some journaling, maybe add a few more embellishments if I feel so inclined. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every week you guys tuning in, whether, you know, it's live or in a replay. Your comments matter. It helps boost my post. These do go away, the lives on Facebook, after 30 days now. So I do archive these to my YouTube so you can watch the replay there. That way those are there forever. You can go back and watch them whenever you're like, I just need a layout inspiration. So you can go there and watch them, like and subscribe on my YouTube. I would love that. I'm working that community up as well, so I can do more on there. But if you guys have any questions, you need help, holler at me. If you want to join Summer Scrappy Camp, I'd love to have you, no matter where you're at. Let me know you want to sign up, and I'll get you in. May 24th, again, is the deadline, especially if I have to mail you goodies. So you'll get a whole box of goodies. I'm calling it travel supplies. So make sure you get your travel supplies before Scrappy Camp. So thanks again so much, you guys, for watching. I hope you have a fabulous day, and take care. Love y'all.